Hey, this is Eric again. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that the key to permanent weight reduction is diet and exercise. And I've said this a lot of times. I've made videos about this several times, and it's been my personal experience that as important as those are, as necessary as those things are, those, at least for me, were the least important aspects of it. And the reason why is I went to the gym every single day when I looked like that, at least almost every day. I was at the gym 3, 4, 5, sometimes more days per week exercising, and yet nothing seemed to work for me. For the most part, I ate pretty dang healthy, and yet I did not release that weight until last year when I finally put together what we call the 3 pillars of growth: body, mind, soul. Yes, the body pillar is important. The diet and the exercise, yeah, you got to do that. But at least for me, the mental and emotional breakthroughs were a lot more important. A lot of people fall into old habits or they get stuck because as weight starts coming off, you actually have to confront negative emotion and stress and things that you've been holding on to and covering up from the past. For example, there have been a lot of times when I would reach a new weight, and sometimes I'd be at the gym, and all of a sudden I would just feel really weird. I remember I was at the gym one time, and I just started feeling this massive feeling of loneliness, and I'm like, where is this coming from? I have no reason to feel lonely. I've got my family, I've got a great company, I've got people surrounding me, I've got an amazing wife, I've got kids. And I remembered back to the last time I had been at that weight, and I had gone through a major period of loneliness. There was an entire summer where I think I only saw my kids once. This was the summer where we lost our home a number of years ago, and my wife and kids had to go spend the entire summer with my wife's parents in St. George. And it was a very lonely time for me, extremely lonely time for me. Or there was another time shortly after I got home from being a missionary in Peru when I was trying to enter the dating scene. I was 21 years old and I really wanted to find a significant other, and I felt very lonely. And I had stuffed a lot of that loneliness down. I'd covered it up with that excess body fat. And as I uncovered it, that's when I began to feel it again. And what leads to a lot of sabotage is when people don't know what to do with those things. And so because they don't like how that feels, they go right back to just stuffing it down with extra food. And this is where a lot of binge eating moments happen. There are times that still happens to me every so often. I will be on the verge of reaching a new personal record, and suddenly I'll just feel just really weird. And so, and I'm not perfect. I'm not, totally. I haven't mastered everything totally. And so every so often, yeah, even I'll experience that where I'll suddenly eat a whole bunch of stuff, and then I'll take a step back and I'll go, what did I just do? Why did I just cover all that up? And so I'll go back and I'll do the emotional work and the mental work, and that's when that weight will come off once and for all, and those plateaus are broken. There have been a lot of people in my Enjoy Yourself Thin group that really want to release this weight. And so they'll apply, for example, for one of our metabolism weight reduction assessments. And just to make an appointment, I put people to the test. And I'll send over I think it's 9 questions. And I'll see just how committed they really are. Some of them are actually very personal questions. And there are some people that will get very triggered just at those questions. They'll say, no, I'm not interested, never mind. And it's fascinating to see that happen because, as of course you know, how we do one thing is usually how we do most other things, if not everything. And the people that weed themselves out because of a few simple questions are probably going to weed themselves out when it comes to other things because they aren't 100% committed to working through those triggers. And so my invitation for you in this video is when triggers happen, whether it's in your weight journey, whether it's when you're faced with stressors, whether it's whatever it is, instead of avoiding those triggers, instead of using food to cover up those emotional triggers, allow yourself to work through them. Simply get through those triggers, and there's a number of tools, of course, that you can use in order to make it easier. I have an audio training called Leaky Joy Tank. It's 13 ways to release stress. If you want a free copy of it, comment below or send me a private message. I'll get that to you. There'll be no charge. That'll be my gift for you to help you work through those triggers. If you allow the slightest trigger to stop you from moving forward, then everything else is going to stop you from moving forward. As I mentioned, as you go through this process, you're going to have to confront some of those old emotions. And if you are the type of person that simply avoids the triggers rather than working through them, transformation is not going to be possible. And I mean permanent, total transformation. You're going to have to work through that. And so one more time, my invitation to you is recognize in yourself what triggers you. Recognize the patterns that you follow that cause you to stop in your tracks. Are you the type of person that allows those triggers to stop you? And if so, allow yourself to break those patterns. Get through the triggers and allow yourself to release and transform. Again, if you aren't already part of our Enjoy Yourself Thin Facebook group, it's totally free to join. There are lots of additional tools and strategies and support there for you. If you need some additional tools, then reach out to me personally. I'm happy to send you a copy of that Leaky Joy Tank audio training so that you can get through those triggers. You are worth it, my friend. Stop buying into your triggers. Stop allowing those triggers to stop you. Get through them and allow yourself to reach that new level of success. Love you.